So I've just started watching Bastard, and I actually believe that it's a great romance anime. Okay, before you think I'm girling this up, this series does live up to the heavy metal and dark fantasy genre. At first, people thought this was going to turn some heads, but it's a really good series that has an actual plot without using too much fan service to draw people in. I mean, it's in there, but it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. The series may be downplayed on some of the violent aspects compared to the previous one, but I think it captures the basic essence really well. Sure, Schneider is your typical horny man that holds an abundance of dark magic that almost lets him conquer the world, but is now rendered to living inside a child's body. He is still very much an active member of society. He still goes around chasing women and somehow all of them fall for him. But he's still actually a pretty well-written character. He pretty much fits the description of the anti-hero who is a hero but doesn't act like one. It's actually refreshing to see someone like him take the stage, even if he wants to conquer the world and probably build himself a harem. Since this review is only based on the anime, as I have not read the manga, I would like to think that he is no longer the cold son of a bitch from before, and is a changed man. Throughout the series, there are many times where people would say,
やはり15年前とは違うようだな。
やっぱ少し変わったぜ、お前。昔だったら絶対言わねえぜ、そんなこと。
この15年で何がお前をそこまで変えてしまったのだ。
I don't know how true it is from the manga reader's point of view, but from what I witnessed, he's not only changed because of the reincarnation magic that forced him into a new body, it is also because of our main girl Yoko, who taught him a different meaning to life, making him realize that he actually has the power to help people. And this is why I believe that he has changed, and this subtle characterization actually made me like the series so much more. Albeit he's still a horn dog, but he's a good one. Which is why the girls also fall for him as they see that Schneider is so much more than just the dark god of destruction. Since this is only the first season, it was kind of a letdown for me because I thought this was the completed series. I have never touched the Bastard series in my entire life, so I apologize for saying that it's a letdown for those of you who really enjoyed the series. I just really thought that this season was it, like after 24 episodes and that the anime is done. But it wasn't. Although I probably would have liked it even more if it weren't for some of the female characters. Yoko and Sheila are actually pretty well written. I mean, they're not perfect. Then again, this is only season 1, so there's always room for growth or disappointment. First, Yoko is the older sister type who will no doubt put Schneider in his place if he ever gets out of hand, and Sheila is the princess type because she's the literal princess. Although Sheila falls for Schneider almost immediately, I can pretty much see why she does, as Sheila does see the kindness the Dark God is capable of when they were trying to rescue Yoko. But this pretty much applies to every other girl in the series and can be a little bit repetitive. Okay, not a little. For example, Sean Ari and Kai Harn, both of whom were supposed to be strong warriors but falls to Schneider's charms because he changed their views on men. They were supposed to be these warriors who can go against Schneider, but once they meet him, bam! They fall in love, or in the case of Kai, no longer hates men as much. Ari's fall into temptation was more reasonable as she just wanted someone to love her, and Schneider, being the woman lover that he is, gave her just that. Alright, so their part of the story is so much more realistic compared to Nei. At first, she is the strong-willed lightning-bearer general whose powers were almost on par with Schneider. Nei is technically Schneider's adopted child who became lovers with him but wanted to kill him once he came back because he was a womanizing bastard. So when it finally comes to the point where Nei has to kill Schneider, she doesn't, and instead Schneider destroys his own heart to save Nei from being turned into a frog. I mean, it's a loving fatherly gesture, or so I thought. But no, this girl doesn't bother moving on from her relationship with Schneider and just swoons over him for the remainder of the season. All of that character development in the last few episodes just shattered all of my respects for this woman. Seriously, after all of that, she basically becomes useless and Schneider has to save her from practically everything. I mean, Nei did hold her own at some parts of the episodes, but somehow she doesn't always make it to the end and Schneider is always there to rescue her. Like, the girl probably should have stopped simping over her former lover after he slept with other women while he was still in a relationship with her. Okay, I'm not mad at the little fan service scenes here and there. It's actually what makes Bastard the way it is. Sure, it's dialed down a lot and OG fans may not like it as much, but for people who are just getting into it, this is a great starting point. When it comes to good characters though, I have to give it to the Ninja Master Gaara and Yoko, the only person who can control Dark Schneider. Yoko may be the damsel in distress, but that's her role, and I'm not mad about it because she's also emotionally strong and doesn't let herself be swayed by Schneider so easily. And it is why I can't wait to see their relationship grow in the next season. To be honest, Gaara is my favorite character in Bastard, not only because he is a better man than Schneider, but because he works really hard for his people and actually thinks about his actions before acting on it. If you want to destroy things, you call on Schneider, but if you want things to get done, you call Gaara. Even if he is nowhere near as powerful as Schneider, he holds his own as the Ninja Master and as one of the former Divine Kings. What is great about Gaara is that he never holds back against his opponents. When it comes to battling Nei, he gave it all that he can, and in the face of an enemy he can't win, he'll protect the people he cares about, even if it means losing an arm or leg. So this is the end of the video, and I would like to disclose that I went into the series with an open mind and it didn't disappoint, but it's not yet completed, so I can't give it a proper review just yet. Overall, the series wasn't half bad, and it's a solid 6.5 out of 10 for me. I'm looking forward to the next season and what it will bring to the gang.